you a few minutes to get on here. Same with you guys on Periscope. And what I'm basically doing for you guys on Periscope and on Facebook right now is you are getting a screenshot of my screen. And my phones are at an angle to which I really cannot read the comments right now. But Christy and Daphne will be checking out the comments and they can be helping me with those. So here we are live, we are quadcasting on Google Hangouts, which is therefore on YouTube as well as Periscope and Facebook, and I appreciate those hearts over on Periscope so much. Thank you so much. So welcome to this week's Essential Oil class. Each week we do join together on Sunday evenings at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time to present to you a class on essential oils. We delve into therapeutic properties, safety, and lots of recipes to teach you how to use essential oils safely. This week our topic is frankincense essential oil. So again, we are live on Google Hangouts, YouTube, Periscope, and on our Facebook group, Using Essential Oils Safely. I guess you call this quadcasting. You can comment on all the platforms except for YouTube, but there should be a link on YouTube that you can click on, which will bring you basically to Google Hangouts where you can type in our Q&A. You can select the grid on the upper right-hand corner. You can select the Q&A button, and we can answer your questions for you at the end of the presentation. If you are using your phone, all platforms will work for you except for Google Hangouts. Now would be a great time for you to share a link to this live class with your friends or anyone that you think would be interested in learning more about frankincense essential oil. And just so you know, the best view of this class is going to be on Google Hangouts and YouTube. Those of you on Facebook and Periscope are getting a shot of my screen right now, which is not ideal, but hey, it works. If you missed the live class, you are probably viewing this recording either on YouTube or on my Catch account from Periscope, or maybe you're viewing this in the Facebook group later on. Be sure to subscribe on whichever platform you're viewing from so while you are there, so you do not miss each weekly class. So let's get started. I am Leah Harris, certified clinical aromatherapist, essential oil safety consultant, blend formulator, author of The Truth About Essential Oil Safety, Safe EO label designer, and the founder of UsingEOSsafely.com. And I am here with Daphne and Christy, two volunteers of our admin team for the Using Essential Oils Safely Facebook group. We have been presenting essential oil classes for 12 weeks now, and we are having lots of fun. Now, these classes are for anybody interested in learning more about essential oils, no matter which brand you use, and that is very important. So I am going to swap over to screenshot mode right now to walk you through our frankincense essential oil webinar presentation, and when I am finished, we will work through your questions. So here I go. Actually, I need to bring up my PowerPoint. Give me 1 second. You guys on Periscope and Facebook, you are getting a really good shot here of what I'm doing. Okay, so here it is. So everything that I'm talking about this evening, sorry for that bump there on Facebook, can be found on our on the website UsingEOSsafely.com/frankincense-EO. I'm just going to take a peek. Okay, you guys can see. Again, if you go to Google Hangouts, you can get a little bit better shot on this. Now, frankincense, as I'm sure most of you know who are familiar with frankincense, there are several different botanical names that frankincense comes in. You can purchase either Boswellia carteri, which is also known as sacra, or the Fruriana, or the serrata, and they have different botanical names. As you can see here, they have synonyms as well. As you can see here, some of them may not be familiar to you. They're really not very familiar to me, but these three, the carteri, the Fruriana, and I'm sure I'm totally butchering these names, these are Latin names, and the serrata, all of these are the three most common frankincense that you probably will come across. And just to head off the question on which one is best, they're actually all going to be really great for the recipes that I'm going to share with you. They're all going to be appropriate for those recipes. Now, the carteri, the one here at the top, also known as sacra, that has a little bit extra antibacterial and antispasmodic therapeutic properties. So if you are dealing with a fungal issue or inflammation, that is the one you want to choose. However, again, all three will work for all of the situations, which I'm going to explain to you here in a few minutes. Few slides, I should say. This won't take very long. So next we have the slide on the frankincense constituents. Now, as you can see, between the three different essential oils, the different species of frankincense, they do have a little bit of variance on the constituents. They all have a pinene, but as you can see, there's a variance on that pinene. The cardarite can have between 10 and 51%, whereas the Freriana has between 41 to 80%, and the Serrata has only up to 11%. And then there's, of course, other constituents as well involved. And it's these constituents that give us give us the therapeutic properties, but scientists and researchers have attributed therapeutic properties to these specific constituents. And yes, there's many more than these constituents here. And the therapeutic properties, and there's a lot for frankincense, are right here. So you can see it's good for a wide range of issues. I personally, I know I told you with every single class, thank you for those hearts, guys. I tell you with every single class, there's usually like one primary function for whatever single essential oil that it is that in my mind stands out the most. Say for lemon, cleaning. Sandalwood, insomnia. For frankincense, it's excellent for skin issues. Right here you can see it's a good analgesic, it's antibacterial, it's anti-infectious, it's antiseptic. It can even help for migraines, it's antiviral, it's decongestant, it's good for repelling insects, and you can see all of these therapeutic properties here. And again, you can find these slides and all the information on using eossafely.com/frankincense-EO. And from those therapeutic properties, we can then attribute benefits. And here are some of the benefits of frankincense essential oil. You can see it's good for colds and flu, any of those limbic issues such as anxiety, stress, tension such as headaches, even insomnia, can be good for depression and irritability, skin issues such as irritation, itching, rashes, acne, scars, wrinkles, and even topical issues such as athlete's foot and fungal skin issues, and even body odor. It's also great for respiratory issues such as bronchitis, pneumonia, whooping cough, congestion, and tuberculosis. And I will have recipes for you in a moment. Next, we have a slide on the safety of frankincense essential oil. And yes, it is good for everybody. It's good for mamas who are pregnant and breastfeeding. It's safe for children to use, to either inhale or apply to their skin. And it's even safe for use around dogs. But as always, I do not recommend using any essential oils with your cats. And if you would like to know a little bit more my reasoning for that, you can go to using eossafely.com/savecats, and that will explain to you why. And here is a cool sneak peek of one of our labels, one of the labels that I created for the safeeolabels.com. This is part of our set A, and you can see here all of the safety that you need to know for frankincense essential oil is right here. It's part of a set of labels that you can download and you can print out and you can wrap right around any brand essential oil bottles that you have. Now we're going to get into some recipes. The first recipe I have here is for cold and flu, and this is showing you that you can use frankincense essential oil. You can add it to your personal inhaler. I suggest 15 drops to your personal inhaler. If you want to do 10 for children under the age of 10, that's great. It's not urgent. It's not critical. If you do use 15 drops, don't freak out. No big deal. Alternatively, you can use between 5 and 10 drops to your diffuser. Depends on your diffuser, what kind you have, how much that they recommend. Generally between 5 and 10 drops. And you can run for 30 to 60 minutes as needed. And if you think you might have the cold and flu coming on and you want to add it to your aroma pendant, that is also definitely recommended as well. Only 1 drop probably is going to be enough for that. The next recipe is for insomnia. Now, the best way to use frankincense essential oil for insomnia is to add it to a personal inhaler, run it in your diffuser, or you can make it into a linen spray. I suggest adding 5 drops. Oh, look here, I have sandalwood. Ooh, you guys found out my secret. I actually repeat these slides, and I guess I didn't catch that. Oh my goodness. Yes, sandalwood. I did use this for this recipe for sandalwood as well. And you can actually combine them. That's great. When I do these classes, I tend to focus on the one essential oil, and I try not to throw a bunch of other ones in there for you so that you don't feel like you need to buy a bunch of essential oils. So 5 drops of frankincense per ounce of water, and I will correct this slide after class. You can add it to either water or a hydrosol or even vodka, and you can shake well before misting over bedding, because as we know, oil and water, oil and hydrosol, oil and vodka, they do not mix, and you want to make sure you're getting some when you're pumping it on your pillow or your bedding. Now here is a great recipe for congestion using frankincense. Now, steam inhalation is my #1 recommendation of the best way, the most effective way to use whatever essential oils are great for congestion. You can add a drop or 2 to a bowl of steaming water. You want to place your head over this bowl with a towel over your head to trap the steam in, and you want to inhale deeply for several minutes. This is very, very effective. For children, you want to add just 1 drop to a steaming cup of hot water, and you just want to let their faces kind of be hanging around it a little bit. Depending on the age of the child, they may not be that happy about having steamy water kind of near them, so just keep an eye on them, make sure they don't drink it. This is also a really great opportunity for you to use your diffusers. You can add some essential oils to your diffusers. They're probably going to be a cool mist diffuser that they can put their face near that's not going to be hot and will give them a similar effect. Next, we have a recipe for acne. You can use a 1% dilution if you're applying this to your face, and you can add 6 drops per ounce of facial cleanser, moisturizer, lotion, or your liquid foundation. You can apply as you normally would. If you don't have a severe case of acne that's all over your face and you just want to apply it to certain spots on your face, you can add 1 drop per teaspoon of witch hazel or aloe vera, and you can apply to problem spots as needed. If you have acne elsewhere, not the face, you can go up to a 2% dilution. Next, we have a recipe for athlete's foot and any other microbial skin issues. You can add, okay, yeah, this slide needs, no, this is good, this is good. So for age 6 months and over, I have a lower dilution than, as you can see, the 6 years and above, and then adults, I have different dilutions depending on ages, basically. So you'd be adding the appropriate drops per ounce of aloe vera gel, applying topically to the problem area as needed. So here I have a 0.5% dilution for under 6 years old, and I do have 6+ months because, as a general rule, we generally actually don't even recommend you apply essential oils topically to children under 2. However, if they do have an issue such as microbial skin issue, you can definitely use essential oils. Just stick to the slow dilution. I really strongly urge you to very carefully consider if it's under 6 months, you know, really be careful. Maybe you want to use frankincense hydrosol instead. In fact, that would even be good for the under 2. But if you want to know what dilution to use for your age 6+ months, this is the dilution. Older children can use 1%, adults can use 2% dilution, and that's using 12 drops per ounce. If you are wanting to use frankincense for body odor, you can add 1 drop of frankincense per teaspoon of soap, apply topically, and wash off as needed. It's also really great for itching, irritation, and any rashes. As you can see, I have my, oh, wow. You know, guys, I'm embarrassed because I have another bad slide here. I'm talking about helichrysum frankincense. This is what happens when I start the class on a Thursday, because I've been doing labels and I insist on squeezing this class in this week. And here it goes. But I think you guys can figure it out. It's another slide I need to fix. So you can add 2 drops of frankincense for your younger children, 6 drops for 6 and above for 1%, and 12 drops for adults. You can add this to either aloe vera gel or witch hazel. You can apply topically to problem areas as needed. And if you use the witch hazel, you want to shake that well, because as we know, essential oils does not mix with witch hazel. Next we have for oily skin. I did get it right. It does say frankincense. You can use frankincense for oily skin by adding 6 drops per ounce of facial cleanser, moisturizer, lotion, liquid foundation, anything you want to apply to your skin. I do not recommend using oil per se, because this is oily skin issue. But there is thought that, you know, oil removes oil, and there is an oil cleansing method that can be useful. You might want to try that as well. But for upkeep, I would say something lighter, such as a lotion that is mostly water-based, is probably going to be better for you. Alternately, you can add a drop of frankincense per teaspoon of witch hazel or aloe vera, and you can apply to problem spots as needed as well, and that should help too. Frankincense is excellent. As you can see, a lot of these recipes are for skin. And that is where frankincense shines. Now we have a recipe for scars. You can use frankincense for scars by adding either 2 to 6 drops for your 1 to 3% dilution, or 8 to 20 drops for your 4 to 10% dilution, to a 10 ml roller bottle. And these are high dilutions because scars can be really difficult to heal. And there's a range in dilutions because it could be a new scar, which might be a little bit easier to heal, versus an old scar that might take a little bit more time and need a little bit more help. You can fill to the neck with a carrier oil and just roll over problem areas as needed. And this is a recipe that a lot of you who have tried have said, wow, this is amazing. I've tried it on old scars, I've tried it on stretch marks, and this stuff really works. Next, we have our final recipe for wrinkles. You can add frankincense. I'm sure your 6-month-old's probably not going to be dealing with wrinkles, but hey, in case you're wanting to know, these are the safe dilutions. You can add these to an aloe vera gel or a witch hazel. You know, that doesn't really sound right to me. You can add this to a carrier oil or lotion. I think that's another one that can find me, guys. Dilutions are appropriate. You can use these for wrinkles. Now again, I generally don't recommend mixing essential oils when I'm presenting these classes. I like to just give you the straight frankincense, but in case you're wondering, other essential oils great for wrinkles would be myrrh, geranium, rose. Those are really great for wrinkles, as well as neroli and orange. But we will be having a class on anti-aging here pretty soon. So, if you are enjoying these free classes, if you have benefited from this class in any way, you can consider please sending me some PayPal to let me know you are taking advantage of these free classes. And I really appreciate you. Some of you every single week are faithful to send me a few dollars, and I appreciate that so much. Now we are having a giveaway for the new set A of labels. You can enter to win over on the page using eossafely.com/frankincense-EO. One winner will receive this set of labels for free. 2 winners will receive a 50% off coupon. So 3 of you will be very happy next week when I announce the winners. So you can go enter to win right over there on Rafflecopter. Good luck, everybody. So that is the end of my presentation. So here I am, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'm going to re-invite Daphne because it looked like she got kicked off. Sorry for the wiggle, guys, on Facebook. So let me just re-invite her really quickly. And Christy, I'm going to throw it on over to you and see if you have any input on frankincense or even the hydrosol.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, am I echoing?
Not to me.
Oh, okay. I can hear myself echoing really bad. I don't really have anything specific to say. I don't use frankincense all that much. I've stated my opinion on frankincense on the group a couple times. I think that it's not my favorite oil like it is a lot of other people's. But I think this gives them a lot of good ideas of what they can do with their frankincense. So I don't really have a lot of extra to say.
Okay. Daphne, do you have anything that you would like to say about frankincense essential oil?
I don't think so specifically. I think it's in the headache one. that you made for me, I want to say. And it seems to work really well. And we just haven't spent enough time experimenting with it. With the skin around our house. So we're using it, but we haven't, zeroed in on, let's pull out the frankincense individually and play with it. So.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely is not one of the least expensive essential oils that you can use, but it is really great for the skin. Just a heads up, I was over on Amazon and I was looking at the Oracacia frankincense, and it's around $17 for the 15 mil. It is. So, I mean, that's pretty affordable. And as we know, Oracacia is a good brand. It's one of the brands that I recommend. I believe Eden's Garden has it as well. I actually didn't double check to see what their prices are, but you guys can play around and see. It is not necessary to pay $80 or $60 or $90 or whatever for frankincense essential oil. It just isn't. It's my personal belief that it's sort of a scam that these people are, kind of touting, oh, it's a biblical oil, and wow, so it must be very valuable. And, I think, frankincense is great, but it's really not the be-all, end-all that it's often ascribed to. It is a good one to have on hand, but I think you can often find other more affordable essential oils that will give you kind of the desire you want. But it is, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like frankincense essential oil. It is really great for topical skin issues for sure. I know a lot of people do use it for headaches, but I don't know if it's my #1 oil to recommend for headaches. So, just be aware that, touching back on biblical times, frankincense, yes, was available during biblical times, but it was as a resin, and it may have been an infused oil, which means they put the resin in an oil, or they powdered it and added it to an oil, such as olive oil or whatever, that they had available, and infused it. So that would be like an herbal oil. That was not an essential oil. So baby Jesus was not slathered with frankincense essential oil when he was born. So please do not be slathering your newborns with frankincense essential oil thinking that is something special.
And even if he was at least 2 years old. So
I wasn't gonna even open
once you start, it all unravels.
Yes. Exactly. So I'm going to check the Q&A to see if any of you have any questions over on Google Hangouts. Okay, I think I'm okay. And I'm seeing some questions over on Facebook that I'm trying carefully to see, as my phone is not. Here we are. Okay, so I am not. Woo, my throat. The week I don't have my water handy. Okay, so I'm just going to check on Facebook as well to see if there's any comments. The link to raffle, yes. If one of you guys, I cannot really reach my keyboard right now. If one of you guys can type in the link. But it's using eossafely.com/frankincense-EO. And somebody, Patty's mentioning that Oracacia frankincense essential oil, $17. You know what? It may be diluted with jojoba oil, but I don't believe it is, because that is what I thought as well. But when I went over there, I was surprised to find it was, as far as I could tell, not pre-diluted. So, double check that. But you can find affordable Oracacia essential oil, Oracacia products over on Amazon. They are affordable, and they are a good brand too. So this is a great time. It's a great time for questions on Periscope as well. I'm going to be checking down there to see if you guys have any questions. Safety during pregnancy. Yes, thank you for your question, Barbie. It is safe for use during pregnancy. Yes, it is. Great question over on Facebook.
There was a question on Periscope about what your account is. Harris was.
Oh, PayPal account, yes. It's
Catch.
Oh, the Catch. Catch is, sorry, you're blubbering in and out. It's catch.me/ I believe. Let me double check. I tried to get everything consistent, but it doesn't always work for everything. I hate it when they're not all the same for this specific reason. Okay, actually it is. It's using EOS Safely. So it's catch, katch.me/using EOS safely, and you can find all of my periscopes up there. So great question. Will it affect milk supply for nursing? Brianne is asking on Facebook. No, it will not affect milk supply for a nursing mama. The only essential oil that I am aware of that might affect nursing and decrease milk supply is peppermint essential oil, but that's not true for all women. Some women can use it, they can inhale it, they can apply it topically, and find that they do not have any decrease in milk supply. So that's not going to be true for all women, but frankincense for sure is totally fine to use if you are nursing. And Roxanne is asking, is it the best essential oil for colds and allergies? It can be a great one to add in addition to other essential oils. I did do an anti-germ class a couple of weeks ago, as well as an anti-congestion class a couple of weeks before that, and there are essential oils in there, and I don't believe I used frankincense for that, but it can be a great supporter. There are other essential oils that will be best for cold and flu, and that just basically helps to support your body. It can help kill germs that may be airborne or on your hands if you're using it topically, and a hand sanitizer. So great questions, guys. I love your questions because it really helps me see what maybe I wasn't clear on in the class, or maybe what other questions. Haha, Christy, you were right. Someone's asking, what is the difference between the species? And I am all prepared because Christy's like, you know, someone's going to ask that question, Leah. You better get your game on. So I'm like, yes, I will. Okay, I have a low battery over here. Hang on, guys. You know, they're all basically the same. The difference is that the Carteri or the Sacra essential oil species, it has a little bit extra antibacterial and antispasmodic properties. But basically the rest of them you can use interchangeably for whatever conditions that you need to. Wow, that really drained quickly because that was almost fully charged. So, sorry.
And did you mention that the Farana, if I'm saying it correctly, is the best one for the skin if you had to choose between the three?
I think I have said that in the past, yes. I think I do have that particular one for like anti-aging, yes. But they're all great. You know, they're all, please don't worry if you don't have the right one and you want to use it anyways and you feel like you have to buy a specific species. Go ahead and try the one you have now because it's probably going to be fine. Someone's saying over on Periscope it's your least favorite smell. It does have a very particular smell. It's from a resin, so it's that very like earthy, not quite woody, but kind of resinous because it's from a resin aroma. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I think men tend to prefer the aroma than women, but you can blend it. You know, it blends great with geranium or, you know, lavender, any of those florals. It balances really great. Yes, so Roxanne, I just answered your question. It can blend really well, especially for skin issues, which is my favorite way to use frankincense. Geranium, jasmine, neroli, you know, even lavender, helichrysum, which doesn't have a very floral. That's probably almost along the same lines of kind of a strong, not as strong, but kind of, I don't know, a male type of. They probably prefer that better than us women. I'm actually not one for florals. I prefer citrus myself, but you know, so it could, you know, blend it with anything you like. If you want to use it and you're just not loving the smell, blend it with something that you like. And if you have any specific questions, like there's something that you want to use it for specifically, please post in our group and we will help you. The hydrosol is excellent for skin. That's the one that's been my top choice lately for spritzing on my face at night after I cleanse my skin before I apply my moisturizer. That's what I've been spritzing. Trying to read and talk at the same time, it doesn't always work. So yes, thank you, Christy, for posting that link on hydrosols. What is the best way to make an anti-aging face cream with frankincense? Anti-aging carriers, the best ones are argan is a really, really great anti-aging carrier. Tamanu can be good for if you have acne or any bacterial skin issues. It can be really good for that. You can use any moisturizer or lotion that you have. You don't have to use a carrier oil. You can add it to your liquid foundation, or whatever that you're applying to your skin every day. You can use it that way. I suggest a 1% dilution. I suggest if you're using it more than, say, 3 weeks, you kind of give it a break and swap out with something different. I know we're always concerned about sensitization. We want to be very careful that we don't use things too often. Hydrosols are best if you have pets. They can be, but then again, I mean, you can use it. Yes, you can use coconut oil as well. Argan is a little bit, I don't know, a little bit best for skin. A rosehip actually is really also another good one for skin as well. As far as hydrosols and pets, you can use stuff on yourself that you're not necessarily applying to your pets. So even if you have cats, you can use this in a moisturizer or something and apply it to your own skin and go walk around and be around with your cat. That is fine, particularly if you are using it for the face or for skin issues and you're keeping it to about a 1% dilution. The only warning I would have for that is if you're using something like, say, peppermint for a muscle ache and you're using like a 20% dilution because you have a really bad cramp or spasm and your pet's sitting right there next to you, it could be a little bit overpowering. So, that's a little bit of a common sense thing. Just be aware that it might be really, really strong. And most cats, they do have it in them to kind of walk away or run away, but not all cats do. So you just want to be careful not to be too overwhelming. So thank you guys on Periscope. You guys are being so patient. I'm not even looking at your comments, and I'm sorry for that. If you guys have any more questions, we can take those now too.
Missy mentioned about argan can be drying. She had heard that.
That has not been my personal experience. I use that frequently, and I haven't noticed that it was drying. I wouldn't say it's a super heavy oil either, but I wouldn't consider it drying. I think it's really great for skincare. If you haven't used it, I suggest you give it a try. I'm not sure why it would be said that argan is drying. Will it have a safe interaction with department store moisturizers? They won't interact unsafely if that's what you're asking. I strongly encourage you to use a moisturizer with ingredients that you do trust and that you like. And in my personal experience, department stores generally don't have usually the best moisturizers. Maybe I'm just really picky. My personal preference is for moisturizers either on wingsets.com. She already has things blended up for you. I love her formulas. Or also on Tropical Traditions. They have some really great moisturizers. I prefer the unscented, and that's what I use my own essential oils too, is your unscented moisturizers. And those are really great. They have really, really great ingredients. And that is something that I personally recommend and use myself. But if you, in theory, yes, you can use any moisturizer that you would like, and you can add essential oils to those. Just know that a lot of them do contain chemicals that you may not want to use on your skin. It's a great question. Periscopers are awesome with your beautiful hearts. I appreciate that so much. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and type them in, and I will see if I can catch them. You guys are having some great questions. We're going to be on for like 5 more minutes, and then we're going to call it a night.
Have we all the questions at the beginning of Facebook? Because I can't all the way up.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing all of the comments. I can only see like 4 of them right now.
I'll see if I can get it on my computer, because my iPad is only scrolling up so far. So I know there was a question about a yeast infection in a 1-year-old. I don't know if we really want to address that or not. It would definitely depend on where you're talking about. Not that yeast infections are all that uncommon in children, but yeah, that's kind of tough to tackle without more information. It's probably something you may have to talk to your doctor about. I can't even find it in the group now.
I scrolled off the page for some reason, but I did say that I suggested she should just use virgin coconut oil for the yeast infection and no EOs.
Right.
I don't know why the questions have scrolled off on Facebook for some reason.
Yeah, I can only see 4. That's really bizarre. Maybe because it's live, I don't know.
It's like we get so many comments and my iPad will only hold so much or something.
Well, I'm actually on my laptop and they're not there either, so I don't know where they're going. But I think I've answered them all, or we've talked about them all so far.
See if
I am able to see a few. I'm able to scroll. Oops, sorry guys. I am able to scroll up on my phone. And
I can only get up so far though. No, that's my problem.
Go, bye.
Someone is saying you are backwards since your Facebook live feed is from your TV.
Well, no, it's fine now.
Well, what they're seeing is my my name and all that stuff is backwards.
It was. You fixed it though. Did you just do something because it was fine 2 seconds ago?
Backwards again now.
I mean, it's backwards for me in real life. Looking at my screen, it's backwards. It's supposed to be, but as it feeds off of Google Hangouts, they flip it around and it's actually correct. But right now it is backwards.
Whatever you just did, undo it because it was fine 2 seconds.
Oh, I haven't done anything except for scroll on Facebook. That's all I've been doing.
Well, that's weird because it was just fine.
It showed it fine for Daphne, but it's backwards for Leah. I mean, when Daphne was on the screen, hers was right.
Right, right. Well, you know, I'm using a different camera setup today, and it is backwards for me. So you guys, yes, it's going to be backwards for you, Pam, over on Periscope. It's going to be backwards for everybody on Facebook because they're looking at my screen that I'm seeing. They're not looking at the live feed. They're looking over my shoulder. So it is backwards for me. So that's okay. Yeah. Missed the video because I thought it started at 7:30. It did. Actually, we were a couple of minutes late. Yes, Eastern time, correct. The replay will be over on YouTube. There's this replay actually is going to be here right in the group on Facebook, and there will be a replay over on catch.me/using EOS safely from Periscope. So there's replays for all 3. It is very difficult to hear the Google Hangout contributors. I felt the same way. I felt like I couldn't hear you guys as well this week for some reason. And I'm not sure.
I don't know. I can hear both you and Daphne just fine, so I'm not sure why you can't hear us.
Yeah, I'm not having volume issues either as far as what I can hear.
You know what?
Maybe it's just because you can't hear us, the people on Facebook.
You know what? There was a setting in my volume that I didn't thoroughly check, and that actually does help a lot. Can you guys hear over on Periscope and Facebook now? I just cranked it up a bit. I was going to say, my volume's at 100%. Okay, awesome, guys. You're saying that's better. And I have you cranked here in Hangouts as well. But it was one specific setting on my audio. For some reason, it had Google Hangouts as its own audio setting, and it wasn't at 100%. So now that we're finished with our class, you guys perfectly. But at least I'll know for next week. So sorry, guys. Okay, so any questions? We're here at 8:15. I'm just going to check out. Yes, the slides. Barbara, you had a question on Facebook. The slides, they're all available. Basically, they're available on a post format. And I didn't have enough time before the class, but I will be by tomorrow's Periscope at noon. And by the way, I don't know if I'm going to hang on to Periscope at noon on Mondays. We'll see. I do like the interaction, though. And the second time. And I probably will be on Facebook again tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time. I'll do Facebook and Periscope at the same time and have more face-to-face interaction. I will not be able to screen share. But I will be putting together a downloadable PDF version of the free website link that will be available for download and print out without all the sidebars and stuff. So I haven't completed that yet, but that is something that is on my agenda for tomorrow, hopefully before the Periscope class. And I will also have a text version as well for those of you who do not want to use a lot of ink. So stay tuned for that. I plan on doing this for all of the classes. I'm going to try really hard to work backwards and get all of those previous 11 classes downloadable as well for you guys. So if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know, and that will encourage me to keep going on that. So Jackie is asking, would I mix tea tree with frankincense for acne? Sure, absolutely. That would be a great mixture for acne. Yes. I do not suggest adding it to any oil, though. I would suggest adding it either to a lotion or even better, witch hazel. Would be even better. You are welcome, Barbara. I'm glad you're still around because this is a question from earlier that I was using. I was scrolling. Amy was asking about using frankincense with safflower to treat very severe psoriasis on her significant other. I mean, you can try it, absolutely. Yeah, with psoriasis, that's probably super dry skin. You know, an oil could be useful for that. Depending on if it's a fungal type issue, you may want it to breathe. You may want to use something like aloe vera. That is something perhaps the doctor can advise, or if you know more about the condition specifically. For topical skin issues like eczema or psoriasis or whatnot, sometimes oil's best and sometimes it's best to let it breathe. But frankincense, yes, can be useful for that issue. Let's see if there's any other questions. Yeah, yeast infection on a 1-year-old. Coconut oil is a great, again, no, frankincense is okay. It is child safe. It is fine to use on any age child. There is no minimum age for frankincense essential oil. But I would be very careful, and often coconut, if it's something that's a topical skin issue, coconut oil can be very useful for that. And I'm not saying you can't use frankincense, but I would just use caution. If you do choose to use it, you can use it at a low dilution.
And if it is a vaginal yeast infection, coconut oil is fine, but go talk to your doctor. We cannot advise on that, and do not put essential oils anywhere near genitals, mouths, eyes, any sensitive areas. Because I wanted to throw that in there because little girls can get vaginal yeast infections, and we're not talking about that type of yeast infection. We're talking about on the skin, you know, on the outside, not anywhere near sensitive areas. So apparently I've got to go.
Okay, yes, that's great. And actually I wanted to say that tamanu oil alone is like a green oil. That alone is it's great for yeast infections to use topically without using any essential oils at all. It's antibacterial essential oil, and it's really, really excellent on its own, and that is a carrier oil, but it has really great properties for yeast infections or even for acne or anything topical like that without having to use essential oils. So definitely discuss with your doctor and see what he says. Sandra's asking for a list of some of the regular uses for frankincense. I did go over all of those uses in the beginning of the class, and you can find all of those over at usingeossafely.com/frankincense.eo, and you can get a whole list of things that frankincense is great for. I do have that link right down here, and you guys on Facebook, it's backwards for you. Sorry about that, and on Periscope as well, but you can find that link. Okay, so last chance, guys, for any questions, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm trying not to go over an hour like we usually do. I know that's pretty long for those of you who watch the replay to watch a full hour, but I do want to get any questions in that you may have. Do you have any questions over on Periscope? Okay, so I will be back tomorrow, Monday at noon, on Facebook group and Periscope, and I will be having my phones arranged to where I can actually see them. I will be using my touchpad to show you all of the slides that I was able to show you with screen share today, which I think is actually more effective, more visible for you guys that are actually either on YouTube or Google Hangouts. I know it's not as great for you guys who are on Periscope and Facebook Live, but I'm doing the best I can. So I appreciate so much. Please go over to that link. Again, it's using eossafely.com/frankincense.eo for all of the information for the class, and please enter the giveaway. Please, please, please enter the giveaway. There will be 3 winners, and I'm really excited to choose those winners next week through Rafflecopter. So if you have any other questions, you can go ahead and you can post them under the Facebook Live link in our Facebook group. If you are not familiar with our group, you can type in using eossafely.com/FB, and that will bring you right to our group. We will approve your request as soon as we possibly can and let you in so you can ask questions. Jackie, Leah, you do these classes with excellence along with your website. Oh, thank you so much. Well, I think I did pretty good. I feel like I abandoned Periscope slightly with where I wasn't able to answer all of your questions probably, and I apologize for that. But I will be devoting 50% of my attention to you tomorrow, along with Facebook Live, will be a lot easier for me to interact with you, and that's a lot of fun. So thank you so much, guys. Any last words you guys want to say goodbye, Christy?
Bye.
Daphne, you're back.
Yeah, we had a, speaking of yeast infections, Marshall's teething, so kind of a little bit of a emergency with that. But we're good now, and I will probably be around. I have to pick up Jackson, but I will be helping Leah with answering questions on Periscope in the text and making sure she gets to all of you guys. So anyway, thank you guys so much for your patience. Fortunately, Leah teaches this class and not me, because otherwise you'd never hear it. You never get through. We never get through it. So, but thanks guys so much for the kind comments, and we'll see you tomorrow.
So Misty had a comment. There's a giveaway? Yes, there's a giveaway. You can win. One winner is going to win a set of the labels, set A of labels. Set A meaning there's going to be a B and a C and a D. And 2 of you guys will win a 50% off coupon. So I'm really excited about that. So I will see you guys on the group. I will see you guys on Periscope and on the Facebook group live again tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time. So if you're watching the replay, you will probably miss it, but that's okay. You can go to this link down here using eossafely.com/frankincense.eo for the full class. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Okay, now I have to